Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well today. Today we are reading the story of superstorms. And these are some of the vocabulary words you are going to see in this story. Beware of dangerous weather. When a storm siren sounds its warning, beware, so be watchful. Damage. Hail and strong winds can do a lot of harm. They can damage crops. So when something does something else harm, it is damaging. Bend. High winds have caused the trunks of these trees to bend or curve. So when something is curving, it is actually bending. Flash. The flash of lightning bolts lit up the sky, the dark night sky. So a brief stent of light is a flash. Pounding. Pounding waves hit the beach hard in a storm. So when something hits hard against something else, it is pounding. Prevent. Heavy snow may prevent or stop cars and trucks from traveling. So when something stops something else, it's preventing it from doing something. In a flood, water can reach or go as high as rooftops. So when it reaches the same height of something else, it has reached its point. The height of the snow is equal to 3 feet. So it's the same as 3 feet equal. Okay, so let's start our story. Our story today is Superstorms. The title is Superstorms, and it was written by Seymour Simon. So let's read it together. Seymour Simon, as a former science teacher, Seymour Simon loves to visit classrooms and talk with students. Those visits sometimes help him decide what to write about next. Mr. Simon has written about everything from bats, bears, and bugs to snakes, sharks, or spiders. Of the more than 200 books he has written, The Paper Airplane is one of his favorites. So, this story is an informational text. I can tell it's an informational text because I see pictures rather than drawings. And this story is going to state facts about storms rather than just give me a storyline. So here we go. The air around us is always moving and changing. We call these changes weather. Storms are sudden, violent changes in weather. So what do we call changes in weather? We call changes in weather changes in the air. What do we call changes in the air? We call it weather. How are storms different from normal changes in the air? Okay, storms are different than normal changes in the air because they are sudden and sometimes violent. Normal changes in the air tend to be slower and not nearly as obvious. Every second, hundreds of thunderstorms are born around the world. Thunderstorms are heavy rain showers. They can drop millions of gallons of water in just one moment. So you see, this is a picture of a thunderstorm from a distance. The person taking the picture is not yet caught up in that storm. So it almost seems like clouds coming to the ground. Or that's what it almost looks like. That's not what it is. Much of that was rain. During a thunderstorm, lightning bolts can shoot between clouds and the ground. Lightning can destroy a tree or a small house. It can also start fires in forests and grasslands. Thunder is the sound lightning makes as it suddenly heats the air. You can tell how far away lightning is. Count the seconds between the flash of light and the sound of thunder. 5 seconds equal 1 mile. So, here we are. What clues in the text and paragraph help you figure out the meaning of the word flash? Well, I can see that the text talks about lightning bolts that shoot between clouds and the ground. The illustration shows the flashes of lightning, so that tells me a flash is a momentary view of light, something you can see just briefly, a moment of light. So let's move to the next page. Hailstones are chunks of ice that are tossed up and down by the winds of some thunderstorms. Hail can be the size of a marble or larger than a baseball. Nearly 5,000 hailstorms strike the United States every year. They can destroy crops and damage buildings and cars. So let's look at these hailstones. In what ways do you think hailstorms can destroy crops and damage cars? Just look at these hailstones. How could they damage a car? If they hit a car from the air, do you think it'll cause a dent? If they hit a car from hundreds of feet in the air, falling from hundreds of feet in the air, do you think it could potentially break a window? Yeah, definitely. Those are pretty big, and they could definitely break windows or dent cars. As far as crops go, if it hits a crop, it could break the stem, and then the crop becomes useless. Thunderstorms sometimes give birth to tornadoes. Inside a storm, a funnel-shaped cloud reaches downward. Winds inside a tornado can spin faster than 300 miles per hour. These winds can lift cars off the ground and rip houses apart. So, what do you think the main topic is on this page? I think it's tornadoes. What are some details that describe the tornadoes on this page? Well, some of the things I heard that they said was that it's a funnel-shaped cloud. That's a description. It spins faster than 300 miles per hour. That's a description. It can lift cars off the ground and rip houses apart. That's also a description. Based on the details, what words might you use to describe the tornado? They're scary, they're fast, and they're dangerous. Those are 3 very good descriptive words. Okay, let's move on. More than 1,000 tornadoes strike the United States each year. Most of them form during spring and summer. Television and radio stations often give early alerts. A tornado watch means that one may strike during the next few hours. A warning means a tornado has been seen by people or on radar. During a tornado warning, you should find shelter in a basement or a closet. Hurricanes are the deadliest storms in the world. They kill more people than all the other storms combined. Hurricanes stretch for hundreds of miles. They have winds of between 74 and 200 miles per hour. The eye of the hurricane is the quiet center of the storm. Inside the eye, the wind stops blowing, the sun shines, and the sky is blue. But beware, the storm is not over yet. Okay. What details support the idea that hurricanes are dangerous? Well, I see that they kill people. That means they're very dangerous. They are very big and they have fast winds. Those also tell us how dangerous they actually are. Why should you beware if you are in the eye of the hurricane? Well, it said the wind stops blowing, the sun shines, and the sky is blue. But you need to be careful not to go out during that time still, because the rest of the storm is still to come. So you need to make sure that you're still being safe during the eye, because you might think you're okay, but there's still a big storm ahead. Hurricanes are born over warm ocean waters from early summer to mid-fall. When they finally reach land, their pounding waves wash away beaches, boats, and houses. Their howling winds bend and uproot trees and telephone poles. Their heavy rains cause floods. What detailed words does the author use to describe the effects of hurricanes? He used pounding waves, howling winds, heavy rains. How do these words help you visualize what is happening? They help me visualize because they are very exact describing words that help me think about what is going on. Blizzards are huge snowstorms. They have winds of at least 35 miles per hour. Usually at least 2 inches of snow falls per hour. Temperatures are at 20 degrees or lower. Falling and blowing snow make it hard to see in a blizzard. So, how are blizzards and hurricanes different? From what I can see, blizzards and hurricanes are different because blizzards, it snows. Hurricanes, it definitely rains really hard. So that's how they are different. No one can prevent storms, but weather reporters can predict and warn us when a storm may hit. The more prepared we are, the safer we will be when the next storm strikes. Very good. So, what are some words you can use instead of the word prevent in the first sentence? So it says, no one can prevent. I can think of, maybe we could put in no one can stop storms, or maybe we could say no one can avoid storms, or maybe we could just say no one could put off a storm. Those are all words that we could potentially use that in place of the word prevent. So, the main idea and details, what is the topic of superstorms, and what do you think the main idea is? And answer that question to yourself. I'm so glad that you could listen to me today. I hope you have an incredible rest of the day, and thank you for joining me. Goodbye.